Hello, I'm Stephanie Lee, and I'm here today to teach you about raccoon trapping. Okay, I'm out here in the same cornfield, and I want to show you this other trap here, which you can also use in the same situation where you have dogs or barn cats or whatever running around. This is the little griz-getter raccoon trap, dog-proof and generally cat-proof too. I've never caught a cat in one either. And it's a great little trap to use in this situation, but you can use it anywhere if you want to. But it really comes in handy when you've got a farmer who's got dogs and cats or whatever running around and doesn't want you to use a standard foothold. Now the griz-getter trap is a foothold trap. It has a bar in there. When the raccoon activates the trigger, the bar comes in there and holds his foot. So it is a foothold trap, but the way it works, the raccoon has to stick his paw down in there to go grabbing at that bait. So a dog can't get in that hole. Now a cat can sometimes reach in there, but a cat doesn't have a paw that's like a hand. The idea is the raccoon reaches in there, grabs the bait like this, pulls up, the bait's under here with the trigger, and he's grabbing the trigger at the same time. And of course when the trigger pulls up, fires the trap. It's a real nice trap. Set them anywhere. This one here, I've got steak. Driving a steak in there. Ground here is frozen though, by the way. I got my steak driven in. Just swivels around. Now you set the trap. Put the dog here right in the notch. Now I've got frozen ground here. If you want to anchor the trap the way the trap is designed to, you can drive that down into the ground. Kind of lightly tap it. You can pre-do the hole too. But the trap also works just laid like this. Raccoon comes and puts his foot down there. Stick the other paw in there. But generally I like to use it like this. But either way works, depending on your situation. If the ground wasn't frozen, I could just drive it right in there. And you just turn it like that, kind of lock it in. But the ground's frozen, so I'm going to do something different here today. I got some mini marshmallows here in my hand. Put those inside there, underneath the trigger. Put, as many as you want in there, as long as they're under that trigger. Some people actually put it on the trigger itself. I found that when I'm trapping my raccoons, I don't know if they're different maybe from other areas, but when I put it on the trigger, they somehow get it out of there and fire the trap without being caught. So I started putting them all the way in the bottom. Anyway, you put mini marshmallows or a little chunk of fish or whatever in there, some kind of little bait, as long as it just fits in that little spot. You can also use some lure. Got some old spoon lure here. Like a piece of stick or whatever. Just grab some lure on the edge there, or you can put some down in there. Whatever, put it down on top of your bait. Just drop some in there, a little drip. Got a real liquid bait. Lure, I mean. Put that in there. That's all you gotta do. Get your trap set. I've got it set here near the cage trap that I was showing you before. Because like I said before, raccoons will often run 2, 3, sometimes 4 at once. Maybe even more if you've got a situation where you're out here trapping and there's still some standing corn and they're getting in that corn. That corn is the raccoon magnet, and you could have just literally just tons of raccoons out here. For that case, you might want to set 4 or 5 traps in a location. Pick them up as many as you can at once. So that there's the little griz-getter trap.
Hi, I'm John Crawford. Today we're going to be talking about all types of techniques for trapping fox and coyote.
Pretty much a basic flat set like I like to put in. Most of the time I just use dirt holes. I'll use 2 of them about 6 foot apart. But for this instance here, I'm going to put a flat set in. what I got here is a number 2 bridger, and I dug out a trap bed that's just barely big enough for that trap. You don't want the trap to be any deeper than ground level, and you want to leave as much undisturbed ground as possible. Now here in the east, with as much rain and stuff as we get, it's very difficult to do that. That's why these flat sets are difficult to get to work. I use a pan cover here just for illustration so you can see the pan center to the base of this grass clod or bush is about 4 inches at the most. It's the same deal with the dirt hole. You want to keep your pan center about 3 to 4 inches. The basic idea is you want to get the animal to come in. The focal point is in the center, and get him to smell that spot, at which point he'll put his foot on the pan. It is more critical with a flat set to bed the trap. That is, press all the dirt all around the jaws, making the trap very stable under the ground. It's very critical because you don't have any guides over here to guide his foot in. So now that I've done this, what I want to do now is get some dirt over top of it, and I put all my dirt over here to the side so I don't create too much of a disturbance. And you want to try to make this look as natural as possible, as undisturbed as possible. So once you've got the trap covered with about 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch of dirt, you want to try to blend this in a little bit. You don't want any indentations here, and you don't want a mound here. You want to make this look as undisturbed as possible, just like nothing's ever happened.
Hi, I'm Ash Bricker. I'm the Director of District 8 Pennsylvania Trappers Association. I'd like to talk to you just a minute here on the importance of belonging to your state Trappers Association. Your association is very active in protecting your trappers' rights with your state legislation. We have people there to watch each and every bill that comes through that has to do with putting down your trapping and hunting rights.